here on the Makers Gonna Learn YouTube channel. I wonder sometimes if our excitement to start off a live stream is a little much for y'all. If it is, please let me know in the chat box.
Sometimes it's a little much for me.
Let us know if we've ever scared you when we started a live stream or anything like that, because honestly, you're welcome. Like, you just need a little pep in your step, whether you just got off work, you're watching the replay, if you're at work, good morning, good afternoon.
You're welcome.
We're so excited to have you guys here today. We have so much to chat about. Number one,
yes.
We have an amazing project. Like, okay, Lauren, popping off with your fabric.
Listen, I am a sucker for a vintage fabric.
Okay, I was about to say, there's a story about the fabric, which I can't wait for you guys to hear about.
There is a story behind the fabric.
It is so fun.
We'll tell you about it here in a minute, but I love taking a vintage fabric and repurposing it for something that's actually going to be
so
used.
Good.
Because these vintage prints are so beautiful.
Yeah, love
and
it.
I think
love
that
it,
you all
love
can
it.
concur.
Now, here's the deal. This week, if you guys have been a friend of Makers Gonna Learn for any time, every year we slow down to stop teaching crafts and we speed up teaching you guys how to turn your crafts into cash.
Especially during this time of year, because right now is when you're gonna make your money with your creativity, period.
We traditionally spend the whole month of April doing this, but I am just calling back to school season, back to selling season from here on out.
That's right.
Because here's what you guys need to understand. Now is the time to sell your crafts, and you can make so much money from now until the end of the year, period. If you're willing to show up and sell your crafts, you will have buyers. People are ready to get help for their home decor, their shirts, their Christmas, their Thanksgiving, their Halloween, like all of these things they've got going on.
Do you want to know a cool fun fact that I was reading an article, especially it was focused on Etsy, specifically for crafters. I'm not talking about everyone else.
Yeah.
Etsy said, the article was saying, I know that people have the mindset of a scarcity mindset. And I feel like it ebbs and flows. Sometimes we have scarcity mindset, sometimes we don't. Let me just be the one to break it down for you. Last year, Black Friday alone, the article read that there were $9.7 billion in revenue, which was up 22% from 2022.
From Black Friday before.
So I don't want to hear people say people aren't buying.
Listen, I've been teaching, if you guys haven't heard, I've taught 2 classes this week. One on Sunday night, me and Lauren were there for 3 hours. It was a big class. If you were there, shout out.
Shout out, it was so good.
I taught it again last night. It was I don't want to say even better, but it was still it was so good, even better. But right before this, how it lined up, I was to be scheduled to be in Orlando at Disney World, and I needed to go to Disney World in preparation to teach this class so much because I needed to be reminded that people are in the world, people are spending money. If I feel like any scarcity in my own soul, I need to look outward and find examples of people still crushing it, having fun, even if uncertain times, even if it's an election year, even if, let me tell you, I was having to rub some shoulders with some people at Disney World, and it was they said it was the lowest occupancy of the year. Y'all, it was packed and everyone had a custom shirt. So if you're not helping people get ready for their Disney trip, their cruise, their vacation, you're missing out on the money. I say all that to say, we have spent the last year and a half building whole new curriculum to help you guys without social media, without putting your face out there, without having to even truly make all of these products yourself, how to get some help to have an automated store.
Yeah.
We have built so many Etsy shops at this point.
We have.
Multiple tester accounts from scratch, no social media, no marketing, just the algorithm on Etsy.
Just like the way you all are gonna do it.
We have been making bank off of Etsy's algorithm. Everybody talks about Etsy takes a lot of fees. Y'all, they pay us a lot of money.
I mean, it's one of those things that the thing with everybody says, well, Etsy takes these fees, blah, 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 blah. But when you set up a shop that runs itself,
Yes.
You still have to do a little bit of the back end work for sure, but for the most
Customer
part,
service, processing the order.
little things.
Small.
Things that you can do on your phone.
I was going to say the same thing.
Same person.
Literally.
But
now,
it's going to run itself, and you're going to be actually crafting and maybe even doing what you want and still cha-ching, cha-ching.
Here is the deal. We had 200 spots. Since last night's training, they're
gone.
Vanished. I believe there's like 230, and here's what we have decided.
Yeah.
Doors are going to close at this price tonight at midnight. If you want to get in at the lowest grandfathered in first 200 spots, you will want to get in on Passive Earner Society tonight. If you're here and you're like, Tanner, I'm not sure what this is. I missed this training. Can I get in? I'm selecting, I'm doing the training one more time, and I'm letting those people have one last chance tomorrow. But to the general public, it'll be tonight at midnight. So if you already attended Sunday, if you already attended it last night, you have until tonight at midnight to get in at the grandfathered in price. And number two, lifetime is going to go up dramatically or disappear forever. That was too good of a deal. I'm a little too crazy.
Tanner was in the webinar on Sunday, and he was like, oh, this is the price. He was like, this is the price? He looked at me and he was like, what? We decided that this was the price? Because it's such a good deal. Because
it's unreal.
With the lifetime, y'all, I know it's a chunk of change. I understand that. It is an investment. It can be a business cost. It can be a tax write-off, FYI. But you're going to get lifetime access to this curriculum.
So good.
Plus, you get the year of coaching. And then
you get
this
keep
it forever.
Printed. You get this printed and shipped to you, which is our textbook. It's not a workbook, honey. It is a textbook.
And this is the first time we've offered lifetime on
any of our programs.
Any of our memberships.
This is a membership, but I know there are people here that's like, listen, when Tanner and Lauren get to creating, and Alicia and Courtney and the Makers Learn team, I need more than 12 months to implement. I need more than 12 months to do the work. This is for you. I've made this more accessible than ever before for you to get in the room, to get locked in at a very affordable price to learn how to do this for you too. We are on fire to help the beginner. We're on fire to help someone that's never sold anything online before. So that is what we have done, and we had this chunk of people. The response has been unbelievable. Thank you so much. If you are in the community already, I'm loving reading your welcome post.
That is one of my favorite things to do. Like I have other work that I need to be doing, but I still consider that work.
I've just been reading and responding, and I'm like, drop your Etsy shop. Like, tell me more. Tell me more. We have so many talented people. So if you're in the program, introduce yourself. We want to hear. We have a kickoff event on the 26th of September at 8 p.m. Be there. And all you need to do is join right now. So there's 3 tiers: monthly, yearly, or lifetime. Whichever one works for you, get in there. There's a payment plan available on yearly or lifetime. You can spread it across internally 4 payments. If you need to use financing, it goes up to, I think, like 6 to 9 months. So depending on you. So we're super excited. So welcome all new Passive Earners students. So excited for you. If you have questions, we're here during the craft. So just let me know. I'll respond in the comments and we'll help you guys out. So yay, Shelly, so good. Join me as a lifetime member. Woohoo! It's gonna be incredible. Love it. So excited, Shelly. Yes. Okay, PV, I got you. We got you. So if you are on the fence, let us know what questions you have. We'd love to help you today. If you're watching the replay, customer care is around the clock. Email in. Are you ready to craft it up?
Let's go
So good, let's do it.
Okay, how are you all today? I'm so glad. This is my second time. I've hosted yesterday and today, and honestly, y'all, I love the passive earner. Like, we have been in the trenches doing all of this for you, building this membership, building this curriculum. It has been absolutely amazing, but I'm not mad about being back in front of the camera crafting either. I mean, I do love it, but can you even look at this little Halloween bag? Now, yesterday we made a bucket. If you're not into the Halloween buckets and you want something a little a little bit, I don't know, this is something that I would keep and use over and over and over. The bucket, I think, is like a 1 year kind of thing. This is an every year kind of thing. Let's just go overhead and look at how stinking cute this is. I literally, I can't even deal with this. So this is what we're gonna be making today. It's pretty simple. You can cut fabric with your Explorer, in case you didn't know. Now it does have to be bonded, but I'm gonna show you exactly how we're gonna bond this fabric today, but this is what we're gonna be making. So let's go ahead and start with all of our supplies. Now, I know Donna Manning in the comments said that she could have a whole Etsy shop with her vintage fabric. Honestly, Donna, why don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what's stopping you, because that stuff goes, I mean, for lots of money. So I do have, this is the vintage pillowcase that I have. First of all, can we take a moment for how beautiful this is? The colors, the roses, everything about it, I am absolutely obsessed with. I love this. So I actually got this back in August. I don't know if you guys have heard of what's the official name of it? It's like I guess it is the world's, or the longest yard sale anyway. It's the first weekend of August. It runs along Highway 127, I'm pretty sure, and goes through like Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, all the way down to Georgia.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I was going to Nashville for something and just kind of stumbled along and found it and didn't have enough time. Next year, it will be a weekend-long event for me.
I love it.
I will start on Thursday and I will go all the way to Sunday because it's my favorite. Thrifting yard sales are my favorite. So this is, sorry we don't have a link for the fabric, but any fabric will do. This is a cotton fabric, so it is a pretty thin fabric. You can go to your local craft store, Joann, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and you can find just some cotton fabric, but this is what we're gonna use today. We did get these cute little canvas bags from Amazon, which are linked down below. Now this is a smaller one, so this would be used for like little kids, but if you wanted to do a bigger one, by all means, get you a bigger bag. So this is, oh my gosh, Sandy says, OMG, this was my bed sheets growing up.
Oh, I love it.
I am obsessed. I love it so much. But anyway, you can get a bigger bag if you want to. You'll just size your design a little bit bigger. We do have some ribbon here for the bow that we made out of the bow, or made the bow with. And then scrap HTV, y'all. I mean, this is small enough to where you can just use scrap HTV. You don't even have to go out and get anything special. We're just gonna use scrap HTV today. And then the star of the show is going to be Heat and Bond. Now this is the light Heat and Bond that is also sewable. I personally would probably use the stronger Heat and Bond myself, but this is what we had, so this is what we used. It's just Heat and Bond. It is iron-on adhesive. I'll show you exactly how to use it. We're gonna iron it on our fabric to bond it before we cut it, and then we're going to be able to take the backer off and iron it onto this so it adheres to the bag as well, okay?
Perfect.
So, those are all your supplies. Of course, you do need, we don't have any really good fabric grip mats right now, but we do have a good strong grip mat. You do need either a strong grip or a fabric grip mat, okay?
Perfect.
So this is what we're going to be doing today. Now let's talk about the cut files and fonts that we're gonna be using. We're gonna go ahead and grab those from the Makers Gonna Learn website before we start the process of making this beautiful project. So we'll go ahead and hop over to our share screen. Now, if you were here yesterday, are we on the share screen? Beautiful. If you were here yesterday, this is the little ghost that we actually used for our tag yesterday. So if you've already downloaded it, you're good. Because we're just gonna be using the face of this little guy in the bottom right corner. And I'll show you exactly how we'll do that. I'm not gonna download that one because I already have it. We used it yesterday. But the other ghost that we're gonna be using is this Groovy Ghost number 9. Now, if you wanted to do like, I think this guy's really cute. The only thing is it has this little sunglasses over here. The outside of that one would be cute. So There's lots of different options you can choose from, but we are going to be using the outline of Groovy Ghost number 9. Now to download that, if you'll hit this arrow pointing down, you can see it's going to pop over to your downloads, and then we're going to double click that and unzip that file. Now, once you have done that, before we move forward, we are going to, actually let me hop over to Design Space. Oh, Little Lovey. That's what it is. So fonts, we do need to grab our font if you don't have it already. So I'm back over here on the Makers Gonna Learn website. The font that we're gonna be using today is Little Lovey. We're gonna type that in. Now you can choose a different font. We have lots and lots of fonts to choose from, but this is the one that we're going to be using today. Now, to download a font onto your computer and get it into Design Space, you do have to click this arrow pointing down. Once again, you're gonna have to double click this because it is a zip file. So we're gonna double click. It's gonna pull up here as an OTF. Once you have done that, if you are on a Windows computer, you may have to right click. Let me see, it's Command. So you may have to right click. There will be an extract all on there. But if you are on a Mac, all you have to do is double click that, and that's going to open up your font book. If you are on a Windows, like I said, you're gonna have to extract that font, and then it will open up in your character map is what it's called. But you do need to install it on your computer first. Once you have installed it on your computer, you will then pop back over to Design Space. Maybe I'll get there. Design Space. And then you will need to reload so that Design Space will recognize it. Now, like I said, we already have it in there. So I'm just gonna scroll over here and we're gonna start building our design. The first thing though I'm going to do is I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to get the measurements of my bag because I want to really use this as, I want to make sure I get it right. If you all were here yesterday, you know that I forgot to size my design. So I'm doing it the right way this time. So I'm gonna come, we've got 10.5 in width and then we have 8 in height. So back in Design Space, we're going to grab a shape. I'm just gonna do a square. I'm gonna bring it in. I'm going to make sure it gets unlocked. We're gonna type in 10.5 in the width and 8 in the height. And this is going to be the general size of the bag that we're going to be putting this design on. Now all we have to do is start building. Nakia says, giant ghosty. Listen, if I did a giant ghost today, it would go off the bottom of the bag. Although, I'm all about it, but.
Love it.
Okay, so we're gonna go to upload. What I'm going to do is click upload image. Now I'm gonna bring in our little ghost, Groovy Ghost number 9 first. So I am going to pull in this drag and drop, beautiful. Now, this is where I need you to pay attention because we just want the outside. I will also want to take a minute to congratulate Jenna. Jenna just joined Passive Earner.
Congratulations, Jenna.
Congratulations.
You are locking in the savings like never before, and you're a select few.
You're going to, you're really gonna enjoy those savings once you see what we up this price to.
Oh my gosh, when you see all of the curriculum, like y'all, textbook level, get in there. You're gonna love it.
Insane. So okay, so back to Design Space. We are going to click continue. Now, not right here. We're gonna go to apply and continue. This is where it's going to be different because we are using a PNG, but we only want the outline of this PNG. So we want this single layer. Normally, if we're using a PNG, we're gonna click flat graphic, but today, because we just want the outline, we are selecting single layer. Once we have done this, we're gonna go to continue and we're going to upload that to our canvas. Now, it comes in big, 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 big.
Love it.
We're just gonna size it down to make it fit. Now, while I'm sizing it down, Patty asked a really good question that I want to address. Patty says, does all fabric need to be bonded? Now, if you have an Explorer Series machine, then yes, all fabric that you're going to cut is gonna have to be bonded. Why? Because you don't have the means to use an adaptive blade, so you can't use a rotary blade. And I promise you, we have tried and tried and tried to cut this cotton fabric just without bonding on it. It doesn't work.
Bonding is magic.
It snags. It will like pull up the fibers in the fabric just don't do really well. So if you do have an Explorer Series machine, you do need to bond your fabric. You don't have to do it with a double-sided adhesive. Like this Heat and Bond is double-sided adhesive, meaning I iron it on and it adheres to the fabric to bond it. Then there's another thing on the back that I tear off, and I'll show you what I mean. And then it bonds to the backside, also bonds to what you're doing. They do have bonding that is just one-sided adhesive bonding that you can use, but if you have an Explorer Series machine, you do need to bond your fabric. Now, if you have a Maker or a Maker 3, you can use a rotary blade and you don't have to bond your fabric. So if we do have any quilters in the house or anybody that works with fabric quite a bit and you want your Cricut to cut your fabric, you do need to have a Maker or a Maker 3 that does have an adaptive blade. So hopefully that answers your questions. So back to share screen. We have the outline of our little ghost. Now all we need to do is add the face. So how are we gonna add the face? We're gonna go back to our uploads. If you want to go through the same process, if you haven't uploaded it already, you can upload our ghost. I would suggest doing it as an SVG. That's going to allow you to contour out and ungroup and delete everything you do not need. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add this to my canvas. And now you can see that we have all 4 little ghosts, and we can actually choose which face we want. If you want a smiley face, if you want this little guy, if you want a little spooky face, you can choose. So I need to take a breath because I've been talking too much.
You're just going at it. There's no room for me to even talk. Lauren's like ready to craft. There's something about the fall crafts though. I do agree.
There is.
Are y'all started decorating for fall? Courtney's been changing out some flowers. It's just like, it's very fallish at our house. It's so much fun. Courtney ordered 2 like viral Christmas trees, and I was like, Courtney, what did you order? She's like, well, they're these viral Christmas trees. I don't even know if I want them. I just was not letting them slip out of my hands. So
there you go.
We're also decorating we're buying for Christmas already too. So let us know in the comments what you've been working on.
Yes.
Okay, I have a Maker 3, but no rotary blade. Will bonding help me? Yes.
You still need to bond your fabric because at that point you will be using I'm gonna say this with quotations, a fabric blade. Let's talk about this for a minute.
Well, okay, so if you do not have a rotary blade, there is a fabric blade.
Yeah, so what I wanted to talk to you guys about is the fabric blade, and I'm gonna keep using quotations.
It's a pink housed blade.
Yes, but it is your standard.
Yeah.
It is your standard blade.
Exactly.
Because both of these blades are a 45-degree angle cut. What that means, your fine point blade, so if you think about it, this is a right angle. A 45-degree is right in the center of your right angle. So your blade is cut at a 45-degree angle. That is gonna be your fabric blade, your fine point blade, and actually the gold housing, which is your premium blade, is also just a fine point blade made out of German tungsten steel.
Which I really appreciate that Cricut's trying, like, just like you should have different fabric scissors, like you should have fabric scissors.
Yes.
And regular scissors.
That's where I was getting.
Yes.
Is you're not gonna cut paper with your fabric scissors.
Right.
So why should you cut fabric with your paper scissors? Like it just
wouldn't happen.
It's not
You just
gonna work.
wouldn't do it. You know, like that one friend of yours that would be like, no. Like that's what we're talking about. So you get the most precision. Like if you ever used fabric scissors for fabric, it cuts like butter. If you ever use paper scissors for paper, it cuts like butter. You want to have the right thing. So that's what you just want to be aware of for the best results. If you're like, Tanner, I don't have a fabric blade, what I recommend is just getting a new blade.
Yes.
I know you have them because we've sold them to you through Amazon 20,000 times.
Yeah. So if you don't have the pink housing, y'all, don't worry. You can do this with your fine point blade. I'm going to do it with the fine point blade myself. Should I? No. Am I? Yeah.
Yes. Love it. We also test it so that you don't have to.
Yes. Also, while we're talking about blade angles, the difference between your regular fine point blade and your deep point blade is so this is your 45-degree angle for your fine point. Your deep point is a 60-degree angle, meaning that the point of your blade actually comes down a little further, and your sharpest point has a little bit more area to cut. So that's the difference. Little fun fact.
Love it.
Okay, back to design space. Bless you.
Thank you, thank you.
What we're gonna do now that we have our little ghosties in here is we are going to hit the ungroup. We're gonna ungroup all of these, and now you can choose which little face you want. Personally, this little guy down here always has my heart. Like this little ghosty in the bottom right corner, I use him for everything.
I love the bottom left guy.
It's a guy. He's not a girl. It's a guy, but I love him. I love him.
I love it.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna delete his little friends.
Bye, buddy.
And then, bye, buddy. Hope you find your dad.
So fun.
So now what we're gonna do is, with this selected, we're gonna come down here to contour, and instead of hitting hide all contours, we're just gonna contour out the big piece so that we are left with a little face.
Love
I mean, I can't. Look at him. So cute.
Precious.
So now we have our face on our little ghost. The next thing that you're going to do is you are going to add your name. So we're gonna come over here to our text. We're gonna grab a text box. I'm going to come up here to the top left where my fonts live, and I'm going to go from, if it pops up as Cricut, hop over to your system fonts, and there is where we are gonna type in Little Lovey, and our font is going to pop up. How cutie patootie. I think I'm gonna make this for Asher today and just not put a bow on it. Oh, I can't with the little, Asher would not like the floral.
Is there any other fabric here?
No, it's fine. We'll make it for Ruby.
Ruby.
It's okay. Ruby gets 2 buckets.
Love it.
Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to type in our name, Ruby. We're going to change it to whatever color you want, and you are going to place it under your little ghost. And this next step is just in case you want to. It's not necessary, but who doesn't love a cute little offset? So we're just gonna pop back up here to the top. We're gonna add an offset. Actually, I made Ruby one yesterday. I think I'm gonna make Annie Scott one.
Love it.
And we're just gonna type in Annie Scott.
So sweet.
Beautiful.
Who would you make one for? Let us know in the comments.
Yep, let us know if you would make one, who you'd make one for. I've not made Annie Scott anything in a while. So I'm gonna pop back up here to offset. I don't want a 0.25. We can see that that's pretty large. I'm just gonna come on down here. We'll try 0.15. That separates the two words. I think that's perfect. We're gonna hit apply. Beautiful. Let me change. And I'm gonna change that color to like this orange. And this is what it's gonna look like. I mean,
oh my
how
gosh.
cute.
So adorable.
How cute.
So good.
So now what we're gonna do, because we are ready to send this to our Cricut now, in case you didn't know. Actually, I lied. Look, I'm gonna come in here. Do you see this little guy in the middle of the C? I don't like him. So what I'm gonna do is, with this offset, I'm going to select my offset. I'm gonna come down here to contour. I'm just gonna contour him out. So much better.
Love it.
Okay, so now we're ready to make this. What I'm going to do is I'm gonna delete my square, because y'all, all this does is it saves, it's like a placeholder for what we are making. So I'm just gonna delete him out, and I'm going to hide everything else on we're gonna hide all of these guys. beautiful. So now all we're left with is this. So we're ready to go. Oh, Christine said, how's Mary Catherine?
So good.
She did have her babe. They are amazing. They're doing great.
I just saw her. She came over for a little play date. She's doing great. We miss her.
We do miss her.
Fun.
We do miss her. So all of this, so our face, our offset, and our name, which I do need to go back. Let me go back to cancel because I need my name and my ghost to be 2 different colors. So let's change our ghost to white, just for the sake of making sure they're on different mats. So back over here to make, I'm gonna leave my ghost for last, and I'm gonna cut all of these first, and while they're cutting, I'm gonna bond my fabric. But before I go any further, like I said, we are using HTV for these, and actually these are so small. I'm gonna show you guys a little trick. We're gonna use the same mat, and we're gonna cut all 3 things of HTV on the same mat.
So good.
But we just need to remember that the offset is going to be whatever color you want, whether it's orange, green. I actually have green in here that I guess I'll do it in green. I think that'll be really cute with the orange bow anyway. And we do already have our little face cut, but we may cut them again. So what I'm gonna do, the trick that I'm gonna show you guys is here, I'm going to click these 3 little dots. I'm gonna move this to our black mat here, confirm, and now I'm gonna pull this down to the bottom. So what that's gonna do is I can now place the corresponding colors where they need to go on the mat, so that we're gonna have 3 different colors, but only have to send our mat through 1 time.
Love it.
Now, before I hit mirror, because I know you all are gonna tell me, don't forget to mirror, I'm gonna move everything first, because if you hit mirror and then move it all, it like turns it off. So if you're gonna do this, I would move it all first before I hit mirror. So once again, 3 dots, move object, over here on the black, and confirm. Now for this one, we will place it right around here, and I'll make sure that we have enough room to put all of this. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn mirror on for everything. And we'll go overhead, and before I continue, I'm gonna make sure I put it all where it needs to go. So my face is gonna be up here in the corner, and we need to cut a little bit bigger than a 2x2 square. So I'm going to cut here and here. We're gonna place this one here in the corner. Next up, we have our name, which is going to be right around between 5 and 7. So we need to have, we'll just go ahead. There we go. We'll do this way. And we'll see how long it goes all the way to 8. So let's just go ahead and cut it all the way off here. Now it's okay that this is up here. It's not going to be touching anything. So we're just gonna place this right here. I'm gonna grab my burnishing tool. We're gonna make sure that gets burnished down really, really good. Now I do have some paper left from yesterday. I'm just gonna scrape that off, make sure that gets off of there, so that it doesn't snag. I don't think we're cutting that far anyway, but we're just gonna pop that right there. And then the offset is going to be at the bottom. It is a little bit big, but we're not gonna run into any issues here because it doesn't even come all the way down to 7. It actually stops about right there. So we're just going to place that there on the bottom, just like that. We're gonna burnish that down really well because we don't want it to move, especially since we have multiple colors on one mat. We do not want that to move, so make sure you're burnishing your vinyl down really well. This is also gonna help ensure that you get really good cuts by doing that.
Right.
So now that we have all 3 of the colors on the mat where they need to go, I'm going to clean up just a bit. And
let us know if you have any questions. If you've never done this process, I promise you it's well worth the time to set it up like Lauren did today. Like really, really enjoy doing it this way. Will save you a ton of time.
So while that is, somebody's connected this via Bluetooth because the power button is blue.
unplug it and plug it back.
Let me just turn it off.
Yeah.
Turn it back on.
Yay.
Somebody was connected to Bluetooth and it wasn't gonna find it. So let's go ahead and refresh.
Yep. And
No
snag
device
it first.
found. Come on now.
Come on, Cricut, wake up.
Wakey, wakey.
Maybe unplug the USB and plug it back.
Oh, there it goes. There it goes. And we're cutting this on everyday iron-on. And now we're just going to load this into our machine. And while that loads and cuts, we are going to bond our fabric.
Yay.
If you'll hand me those pinky shears.
Oh, I just wanted to keep them.
Thanks. I moved them a while ago because I was
fun.
filming. So that's why they were over there. So what I'm gonna do is I am using our pinking shears and I'm just going to cut off some of this fabric. Like this. This should be big enough. And I'm gonna move this out of the way. And now I'm going to grab my heat and bond and I'm going to cut a piece large enough to cover this piece of fabric. Now, what you can do, sometimes I'll iron it on before I cut it off. Sometimes I cut it off before I iron. It really, you can do it either way. So we'll just go ahead and cut this the size of our piece of fabric. It's okay if it's a little bit bigger. It's not a big deal. And once you have done that, you're gonna be able to tell which side you iron on first and which side you don't. This is the side you want touching your fabric when you iron. You wanna keep this like waxy paper on it. So we're gonna keep that on. I am going to bring in a mat just because it does tend to help with keeping the heat, especially on this cold surface because we are working on a marble tabletop.
Right.
But you do need to be careful not to put your mini easy press if your heat and bond is not touching your fabric and it's touching your mat. Just be careful.
Yes.
Because it will adhere to your mat. So what I'm gonna do, I'm using a mini easy press with a heat setting of 2, and I'm just going to start adhering this down, this heat and bond, to our fabric and not adhering it to our mat. Now this mat isn't the best because we've had it folded up, so it's got that crease in it, but it'll do, pig. Now,
yes.
Once you have done that, you can trim off the excess heat and bond if you want to. It's really not 100% necessary. But this next step when we go to cutting is going to be completely necessary in my opinion. And that is actually turning your fabric upside down and cutting it from this side. That is going to be the key to making sure that you get nice clean cuts on your Explorer using your fine point blade. So what I'm gonna do now, before I unload this, I'm actually going to put my fabric on my mat. I'm gonna line it up here because one thing that I've been telling everybody before you unload your mat, I always think that you need to check your cuts, okay? So that's why I'm going to put this on here first. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to grab a weeding tool and I'm gonna come over here, and I've been trying to do this myself too because you'll know me. I always like to say, do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
Normally, everyday iron-on, we don't have a problem, but I always just like to double check everything. This way, if it didn't cut through and you haven't unloaded it, you can hit this flashing play button again and it will pull it right back through and cut in the exact same spot.
That's like one of my favorite features.
Amen. Put it on a shirt.
So good.
So we know that it cut through. I'm now going to unload. And because you do put your fabric, now with this shape, it doesn't matter because it is a symmetrical shape. But if you are cutting fabric with a non-symmetrical shape, okay, non-symmetrical shape, you will need to mirror your design, okay? If it's non-symmetrical, you will need to mirror it. Let me just go ahead and turn the mirror on for you guys, even though ours is a symmetrical shape. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna click Browse All Material, and we are going to type in bonded, and we are going to do, I want cotton. Is there not? Let's do fabric, denim, faux suede, oilcloth, polyester, printed.
There's some really, and I think this is really important. You know, there's a lot of options. Like when you think about your Cricut can cut 500 plus material, I will say a lot of them are very similar fabric materials, and the settings are very different. And this is where I was getting at. So if you scroll through, you can see. Let
me go back and show you exactly how I got that.
Yeah,
so if for some reason you're like, I don't know which one to pick, so you can come down here. They have them. Fabric is its own separate thing. You can see there's not a cotton bonded. I don't know if they did an update because there used to be a cotton bonded. A bonded cotton. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna look, and I like to look, okay, I think denim would be fine, maybe oilcloth or polyester. So what I'm gonna do now.
It's so strange that cotton isn't there anymore.
But denim is?
Right.
It doesn't, I mean, denim is cotton.
But I feel like denim would be like so deep, like probably cut it multiple times.
I know. Fusible fabric, yes, that one would probably be, they may have just changed the name to fusible fabric. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come down here to material settings. If you are ever second guessing yourself, go to your material settings. I told you denim was the first one that they do have these in order. So this is telling me that denim bonded is a pressure of 321 with 3 passes.
Yeah.
Which to me is way too much. So now I know denim is not the way to go. Let's go on down to fusible fabric. Fusible fabric is 220 single pass, fine point blade. That's probably the one that I'm gonna go with, but I do wanna check oilcloth and polyester just before I get off of here. So polyester, let me find it. Where's it at? Did I miss it? Yes, I did. I'm in the PRs. Polyester. 285, so that's a little bit more pressure. If you think that your machine needs a little bit more pressure, you might want to do polyester because the fusible fabric was 225, polyester is 285, both with a single pass. So I think either of those would be fine. And then I want to check oilcloth, which I know oilcloth is going to be really thick, but I went past it with the P's. 285. So didn't it say polyester was 285 too? Yeah.
So a lot of these are very similar. That's kind of what I was kind of pointing out.
Polyester and oilcloth are the exact same pressure.
So when Cricut says that, you know, they cut 500 plus different materials,
right?
A lot of these just borrow the same setting.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that. You know, we don't talk about specialty material a ton here, but I think it's just really important to readdress in that setting area to see what the setup is and so on.
So I'm gonna go with fusible fabric. Now, if you don't for some reason see the cut settings on your machine, you can make your own custom cut settings. But so far, this is 225 with 1 pass. So we're gonna try it with 1 pass, check it out. Yes, I am using the same blade that I just cut HTV with. Come at me. While that is cutting, I'm just gonna go ahead and weed my little things here. Ugh, this is the one thing about a light grip mat. A light grip mat does its job, but when it comes to weeding on a light grip mat, it can sometimes be a little tough. Like, it comes up so easy. So we've got our little face. Okay, it's cut. Let's come check it. Let's come look.
Woohoo!
Come to 3. Ouch.
Ooh.
Ouchie, ouchie.
Are you cutting yourself?
I just poked myself.
With the pen tool? That's crazy.
Yep. Okay, it cut through beautifully, actually. So we're gonna unload this guy. I'm gonna leave him there while I weed everything else here. Does anybody have any questions about anything we have done
Let
so
us know.
far?
We have some friends just tuning in. If you have any questions, we have been making an amazing little little
Halloween
bag for the child in your life to be able to carry around, or heck, for yourself. We're so excited to have you. This has been a lot of fun. We're testing a lot of the fabric settings. We're talking all things bonded fabric. We've been using some amazing Makers Gonna Learn files to make this project come to life. So you'll definitely want to catch the replay. I just see so many just tuning in. So welcome, welcome.
For sure.
Do they have these settings on the Explorer 2? Mom Jody, great question. All of the settings that you see here today, all of the material you saw today, is available on your,
It should be if you have Explorer 2,
yeah,
if
Explorer
you turn
2
it to
Explorer
custom
3,
settings,
yeah.
that's going to allow you to kind of make your own, and I think you can use these. I'll be real honest, we don't use the Explorer 2 very often just because we do have the Explorer 3 and because we have a maker in our craft room.
Yeah.
So, and it's not that we're trying to leave
We've
you
actually
out.
been loving the Explorer 3.
Yeah.
The Explorer 2 is amazing. It's probably the most reliable machine Cricut makes. So like if you have it, like you're crushing it. But I will tell you, if you're looking to upgrade your machine this year, I love the Explorer 3. I think it's so reliable, so fun, so easy to use. It's so good.
Yes. So now I'm just going to weed this last little piece. My offset layer here shouldn't take me very long at all because there's nothing on the inside that I need to get rid of. And we are ready to start assembling.
Yay!
Gonna bring this foldy guy back out. Not my favorite, but it will do. Beautiful, trying to clean up some. And we're going to start making our bag. Can they see?
Yep.
Beautiful. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we are going to grab our little ghost. Hold on, let me pull him in. So when I take him off the mat, you guys can see how well it cut. Look at that.
Ooh!
Amazing.
Okay, L Lynch, do you have to join Makers Gonna Learn from Passive Earners to get access to the files? Yes. So L Lynch, I went over at the trainings everything you get in Passive Earners. That program is not the Makers Gonna Learn membership. Fantastic question. You can get the membership very affordably for $27 a month, or I'll even give you a special coupon code, which is FLASH30, to save $30 on the year membership, so you can get access to over 15,000 plus files, over 1,000 plus fonts, and so many amazing craft trainings.
Yes.
We keep our business training separate from our craft training because it is not for the same person. If you are like, Tanner, I want to be able to make better projects for myself and to sell, Makers Gonna Learn is right for you. If you're like, Tanner, I need to learn how to sell and see money coming in, Passive Earners is for you. And a lot of people are in both programs. Great question. Congratulations.
Yes.
So excited for you.
Okay.
Love it.
So what I'm doing now is I'm just making sure that all of this is going to fit on here beautifully. And it will. Lovely. I think I'm going to put my name on first before I put my ghost. So what I'm going to do, I still have my mini heat press on with a heat setting of 2. I'm going to place my name down here with my offset first. And I'm just going to iron this on. You can tell when your HTV is ready because it will start kind of bubbling or just come off like that. I mean, very easily. Now you are gonna have to do a little bit more with this canvas. I have noticed that canvas does take maybe just a little bit more time than just regular. There we go. Look how beautiful that came up. And in case you all were wondering, Caesar Easy Weed is our favorite HTV. Now, one thing I am going to do, because this little corner is kind of exposed, I'm just going to bring my excess that I just used and cover up the corner of that offset. If you have any HTV exposed when you are doing an offset, make sure you cover it, because if your mini heat press touches it, it is going to ruin it. It will melt it. Just FYI. What?
About melting it.
Oh, I didn't. I
don't want anybody to have theirs melted.
I've done it so many times though. That's
know.
why I make sure to tell everybody to protect your area, because I have melted so much HTV, like just because I've been in a hurry and not been paying attention.
So good.
So now that we have our name on there, we're gonna place our little ghost. So what you need to do, once you have gotten it off your mat, we are now going to take this backer off. You can see how that shiny is there. That's what's going to adhere, much like HTV, to your bag. So we're gonna lay that down and we're just gonna iron this. Once again, I'm gonna pull this, let me grab it. Pull this back in here and cover up the bottom half of my name so that I can get these corners and not worry about touching my HTV that I have down. And I'm just going to make sure that we get this heat and bond adhered to our bag.
Yay. What are your thoughts on heat and bond? I find it so fascinating.
I love it.
I think it's really, really neat.
I love it for so many things. I use heat and bond to quickly hem my clothes all the time. I use it to repair holes. I'll use it on the inside and pull my fabric together and put the heat and bond on the inside to like repair holes.
Ooh.
I use it for appliques. I use it for so many different things.
So good.
Yes.
Yeah, when I first discovered it, I was like, this is actually brilliant. I used to do it for felt a lot of projects with felt.
Yes. Now we're gonna put our little face on here. I do want to, okay, so we made this bow before, but she said the bow was just too big, but it's so cute, but it is a little big, I will agree. So we may have to make another little bow here in a minute, but we're gonna put our face on first. So we're just going to iron that on. Does not take very much for that to cut, and I mean, other than our bow, guys, that's it. That's it. Now for our bow, what we can do, I'll show you how to do it. We're just gonna cut off some, and this is actually from the Dollar Tree, velvet ribbon from the Dollar Tree. Super, super cute.
Love that.
What you're gonna do is you're gonna bring these together and we're just going to kind of pinch it. I don't know how else to say it. You're just gonna pinch it like this. Now what I would do, this bow does have to be kind of small. I'm going to bring in my hot glue and I'm just gonna add a little bit of hot glue to this side right here. I thought I had my hot glue gun on.
Do we need me to grab you another one?
It's on now.
Okay.
It's just gonna take it a minute
Just
too.
give it a second.
We'll
No
just give it a
worries.
second.
No worries. So
So,
fun.
Now
So
is a
fun.
great time to ask any questions.
Okay. If your first layer is shrinking, press it for shorter time, just till it holds, then full amount of time with top layer. Love that tip.
Yep.
So good. This is so sweet. I'm gonna make this bag for my goddaughter. She will love it. This is a project that you will keep like for years to come. Like this is not a one season. So,
No,
super fun.
no. This is, oh no.
Uh-oh. Oh no. Where is Martha Stewart with our little cup of water? Oh, I need that for you.
What little cup of water?
When you get hot glue on your finger, you're supposed to have a bowl of water to put your finger in to cool it off. Did Martha
wasn't on
not
my
teach you
finger.
nothing?
I didn't really pay attention to Martha growing up.
Maybe that's
my problem.
One fun fact about me and Mama.
I was paying more attention to Dale Earnhardt growing up.
Okay, one fun fact is me and Mama would watch Martha Stewart Living every day while she made me my hot dogs for lunch. And then sometimes I would get out my Mama's pots and pans and I would have my cooking show with Play-Doh during Martha's
sweet.
show.
I'm obsessed with that, honestly.
I mean, listen, Martha, you know.
Martha helped raise you.
She helped raise me. It was a really hard discussion when she went to prison, but we got through it. Another thing me and Mama did together was watch all of the coverage of Michael Jackson's death.
I thought you were going to say we watched all of The Young and the Restless.
Well, if we're really talking about me and Mammal's bonding, she did put me on to Days of Our Lives at probably birth. So I could tell you almost anything about Days of Our Lives from the time I was 4.5 to roughly 12. And I turn it on sometimes, and wow, has it really evolved.
Brings back memes. It's still on.
It's crazy that it's still on the air. And another fun fact about Days of Our Lives is when I was in school, my mama didn't have DVR or like TiVo, but we did. So I had to TiVo it, and we would watch it as soon as she picked me up from school. And the show is an hour, but if you take out the commercials, it's 26 minutes.
Wow.
So
if you take out the commercials, it's 26 minutes.
There you go. Y'all wanted to learn something about me and Mamaw? There you go. So anyway, so good.
And that's it. Look at the little bow.
Project. What a fun one.
Now I'm gonna hold this down so that it kind of stays a little better because my glue is.
Yeah, it's awesome. Welcome Bonnie, welcome Amy, welcome Jenna, welcome Ivis, welcome Aaron. Oh my gosh, welcome, welcome, welcome. So excited to see you guys joining Passive Earners. I just want to give you all shout outs. So good.
Okay.
Love it.
I was just making sure my glue was on.
Okay, this is fantastic. The fabric is a winner.
This might be still wet. So
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Is this like velvet?
Yeah, it's
like velvet ribbon
from the
Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree's got the hookup, man. Dollar Tree's got the plug. Y'all are gonna love it. This is gonna be such a fun one. This is with the Maker's Learn file. Again, you don't have to have a maker to cut fabric. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions when the Cricut Maker launched, is that it only cut fabric, which is kind of true, but kind of not at the same time, because bonded fabric is kind of awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really, really, really incredible. But yay, I love it. Okay, if your rotary blade shows error from day one on the new Maker I purchased, what can you suggest? Sherry.
Unfortunately, calling customer service.
Yeah, calling customer service for Cricut, as painful as it is, I wish I could wave a wand and just pray over the machine from here. I mean, maybe we can. Lord, let Sherry's Cricut machine and blade work tonight.
Amen.
Just like it should. Love you, God, amen. But unfortunately, most of the time, you need to actually call customer service. And I'll say, it's not as bad as you might think.
I was literally about to say that. I will say, it may feel like such a hassle to have to call customer service, but out of all the customer service people that I've had to call, do that callback feature so you don't have to sit on the line for so long. I promise you they're gonna call you back.
Yep.
Keep your phone with you, and I'm telling you they will walk you through step by step single thing you need to do. And they have been so helpful every single time I've needed them.
Yeah, they're really fantastic, and they take such great care of their customer care reps. So just enjoy that customer service. You are the one paying for it, so take advantage. And it's so good. So, oh my gosh, I love all the people sharing their their little special things too. So, oh my gosh, I've watched it for 59 years, still love it. I love it. That's crazy.
Do you know that I have been in church where some little old ladies have they've had dementia, first of all, let me just say, but they requested prayer for people on Days of Our Lives. Stefano, oh God. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. They requested prayer for people on Days of Our Lives.
Now, the amount of
She
time...
had dementia though. And it wasn't at my church. It wasn't at college.
Now, granted, my mama did talk about it like they were living. So there you go. Goodness. Okay, I have a question. My little Cricut Easy Press, the mini one, has a lot of cracks all over it. Is it that common to happen? Yeah, are you talking about like scratches? Ours doesn't have any cracks.
No, I don't have any cracks.
No, but mine does look scratched.
I do. That doesn't.
This has some scratches like on the plate. That's totally fine. I'm not sure what you mean. As long as if maybe it's time to get a new one. Maybe
if it came that way, it's time to call customer.
Yeah.
It's time to call Cricut.
Also, Amazon Prime Days is coming up October 8th and 9th. So bookmark that. So super fun. That would be something great to stock up on for an amazing value. I think they're usually like $39. So really good deal.
Yep.
Oh, just joined Maker's Gonna Learn. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes, so good. Welcome, Lana. So good. Can't wait to kick off with you.
Cracks on the handle.
No, we don't have any cracks
I don't.
on
There's
handle.
no cracks on.
There should not be.
Oh, yes, there are.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine though.
Just enjoy it.
It's fine.
Live it up.
Here, I'll show you what I mean.
Yeah, now you have to show everybody.
Right here is, I'm assuming, is what you mean. I'd never noticed those cracks on our handle until now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's fine.
So for passive earners, the coaching calls will be on Zoom, and that means you have the option to raise your hand and we bring you on camera and we have a coaching session. If you've never been coached before, you are still welcome to join.
Oh, wow, I had that way out of screen.
It'll be so fun to have your first coaching experience. You also will get so much out of watching other people get coached. This is a very small, intimate environment where we will be able to help you with your mindset, help you with your listings, help you decide what listings to make.
Yep.
Lots of reviews will be done and support. So,
and 3 coaching calls a month, y'all. That's almost one every single week.
And yeah, if as the community grows, we of course will add and differ whatever we see is required.
Yeah.
So just know that, we will be there to support you in between those coaching calls in the private community and all of that. So the community and the curriculum, think about it, between the coaching calls, between the community, between the core curriculum. I know if we just gave you the curriculum, you could take it and run with it and crush.
Absolutely.
Now, I know you want help implementing, because who the heck, it's hard enough to know the how, but it's hard to get you to do it, right? So the coaching calls are there to support you along the way. So get in there. The price will be going up. So we've linked it down below. Sadie's going to drop you the link. Get in at our founding member prices. You can grandfather yourself in at any of these prices. $97 a month. You get instant access to all of the curriculum. An insane deal. You can stay a member for 30 days, whatever you want. You can always cancel at any time, but only $97 to get started, or you could go lifetime, or you could go yearly, whichever one you want. And it is so, so good.
Now, we did have somebody ask, where is it at? Okay, I have the Cricut Maker 3. Which blade do I use to cut the fabric and heat and bond? You can use the rotary blade if you want to, but this we actually just cut with our fine point blade. You can use your fine point blade even with your Maker 3 to cut bonded fabric. The rotary blade is going to really shine to cut fabric that is not bonded. It's going to really make, that's what the rotary blade is for. But if you're going to bond your fabric, just use your fine point blade.
Love it. So awesome.
Does anybody else have any other questions?
Let us know. We would love to help you with any questions you have. It is so much fun, such a great project today, and we are just super thrilled to see you guys crafting and getting inside a passive earner so we can build your amazing Etsy shops, whether you want to sell your physical crafts, you want to build a print-on-demand store off of your intellectual property, your designs, or you want to sell digital downloads. We will help you with all 3 routes inside the program. So super, super good. We love it.
Yes.
Can I cut material with an Explorer 2, Air 2? Yes, you can cut it just like we did with the bonded fabric and the fine point blade.
Yep.
So you guys are gonna rock it. Thank you guys so much for being here. We will see you back here real soon on the Makers Can Learn channel. And until next time, happy crafting.
Bye, guys.